Hello there, my name is Lauren and I am a master's student for the program of Advanced Education. It was Nelson Mandela who once said in a speech that education is the most powerful weapon in which we can change the world. And it is this very quote that I have based my entire teaching career and philosophy. This quote resonates with me deeply, and as I continue on my education journey as an educator and a student, I have found that this quote really holds a lot of truth and value. I've been an educator now for over 14 years, 12 years which have been spent as an educator in South Korea, where I have taught children from elementary all the way up to high school as an English language teacher. I never imagined that my time in South Africa as a teacher and my time in South Korea would be so vastly different. And I have learned so many things as an educator over the last 14 years. My time in Korea as an educator has been incredibly challenging, but as well as incredibly transformative. And it is really thanks to this amazing program that I feel that I am more equipped now as an ESL language teacher as well as a general elementary teacher. My first few years in Korea, I felt very unprepared and very unsure what I was required to do as an educator, for no one can truly prepare you for teaching abroad in a country that is so vastly different to your own. However, through this program, like I mentioned, I've really managed to equip myself with amazing tools, resources, and support, which I feel have really enabled me to become a great teacher in South Korea. I never imagined that this master's program would become such an important and valuable asset for me as an educator. Not only have I managed to connect with amazing teachers and students around the world and learned about various education systems, but I also feel a lot more confident now within my own teaching environment in South Korea. I think some of the things that I'm most grateful for in this master's program is the fact that it is such a diverse master's program. So not only has it focused on a curriculum that I really personally align with, which is the IB curriculum, which has been of great value to me as an educator, but the fact that it is such a global kind of master's program that really focuses on diversity and inclusion, which are aspects that I feel are so drastically needed in society these days and are topics that as educators we really do need to focus on. As an educator in South Korea, where things such as diversity and inclusivity are not really at the heart of education, I have really found some of the courses in the master's program to be very beneficial, specifically to me as an ESL teacher in Korea. So some of the courses that have really stood out for me include literacy. I really enjoyed the literacy course. Again, as an ESL teacher, I feel like this was incredibly useful. And it really equipped me with extra skills, resources, and knowledge that I never had prior to doing the course. As an ESL teacher, we come across many different various challenges with teaching South Korean students, and so I found the literacy course to be very helpful. Another course which I thoroughly enjoyed and has been most helpful to me as an educator in South Korea is the barriers to learning and inclusive education. As I mentioned, these things are not really topics that are spoken about or taken into consideration in the Korean classroom, and so these have been most helpful for me especially dealing with students that are neurodiverse or that have learning barriers or that are multicultural students. I feel these courses really equip me with knowledge and resources and strategies to help my students in the classroom that are neurodiverse, specifically with ADHD or autism, and students that have maybe language barriers to learning, since most of my students are Korean and they are second language English speakers. Lastly, one of the other courses that I really enjoyed was Living and Learning Globally. This was a course that really focused on global citizenship and how we as educators can promote global citizenship. As an educator who has a very strong philosophy and love for teaching my students about the world around them and how to be global citizens and helpful members of society, I really enjoyed this course. It taught me a lot of useful strategies that I could implement in my own classroom with my students. When I started this course back in 2020, I had no idea how challenging and also rewarding it would be. I started this master's due to Corona and finding myself having a lot of extra time due to not having my students in the classroom. It was a very transformative year for me where as an educator, I was very challenged to change my teaching strategies. I had to learn online computer systems, YouTube, and many other things. And it was really helpful doing this master's course at the time because it was so diverse and it focused on all these different kind of situations. How we can teach online, how to integrate technology. And so I felt that I really started this master's course at a very good time during Corona. However, I also wasn't aware at the time that it would take me so long to complete my master's. I must be honest that it has been a challenge for me as somebody who is neurodiverse and suffers from severe ADHD. It has been a challenge for me to do this master's program, but yeah, I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and my greatest hope now is to complete it by 2025. And I think another thing that I've really learned through this process as somebody that is neurodiverse and as an ADHD educator, it's really made me a better teacher. I'm far more empathetic, with my students now, thanks to doing all these courses, especially the barriers to learning. It's made me a much more empathetic teacher towards students that have ADHD or neurodiverse issues. And it's really helped me to think out the box and come up with strategies to help these students so that they don't have to suffer like I did at school without the support, due to being neurodiverse. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the University of the People and all the professors for their support and help during this program. It really has been very, very transformative. And yeah, I do hope that by 2025 I can get this master's so that I can go out into the world and continue to be a great educator and to put into practice everything that I have learned during this journey. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the university for allowing me to join this program. Thank you.